Hi there, I'm Dawn from Cyprus, living in my abandoned village and off-grid rural life. If it's your first time here, thanks so much for coming. Great to see you. Let me know who you are in the comments below, and then I can come over and have a look at your channel if you're new. And if you're a long-term viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for that as well. Really do appreciate it. And I'm loving all the comments. Some of you be such fun comments. I really love that. I'll get to the title of this video in a bit, which is I've got a replacement. So there's good news there. I must first start with doing a shout out for Diane and Samson. Now, this is mostly because my last video, every now and then I randomly talk in the chat and mention channels and whatever. So I don't have them prepared. It might just be in conversation. And I was talking about Diane and Samson. And for the life of me, I don't know. I was saying Diane and Samson, but I kept saying out loud, is it Diane? Why do I think it's not Diane? And I knew it was, but I thought, well, why did Diane pop in my head? So I did apologise if it was wrong, but I was fairly sure it was Diane and Samson. I watched them all the time, but with my brain condition, things like that will just suddenly escape me if I've not thought about them first. So I did say, well, I'm sure that's right, but if it's wrong, I will definitely give them a big shout out. So here it is, Diane and Samson. They're a great couple. They're in Australia. If you're not into the Australian community, if you're a homesteader or you just enjoy those sort of videos, that is a channel to watch for sure. The other Australian ones that I really stick to and watch is In Your Yard Homestead. I like him a lot because it's so unique what he does, and the way he's living right now is so unique. So if you're an Australian channel particularly and he's not in your community, get in there. The other two that I really keep up with and watch every single video is Little Garden Big Dreams, which is Catherine. Oh, she's so adorable. She really is. I know she'd be my best friend if I lived there. They've just recently moved, so that's very interesting how she's having to start again with her garden and her growing. It's summer there now for them, so complete opposite to me. And the other Australian one that I really keep up with every single video is Flower Folk Farm, and that's Anita, so do look at hers as well. And the other thing I want to say is I did mention that Diane and Samson, Diane does a podcast, but I couldn't remember what that was because obviously once you put a podcast on your phone, you probably don't look at the title again. So I did check what that was called, so I can give a shout out for that. And it's called Earthly Roots. She does it with a friend of hers, which is another YouTuber. Her name's Robin, and they do it together, Diane and Robin. It's a great one for while you're in the garden. I know a lot of you like to listen to podcasts or YouTubers that just chit chat while you're gardening or doing your housework or whatever. So that's a good one for gardening. If you're interested in gardening and growing, then that's a good one too. So I hope that sorted that out. Sorry about that, Diane. Hope that sorted it out. Let's see who's in. Glitter World, hi Shirley. Glitter bombs to you. Peter Dale, hi Peter. I know it's late, but just popped in to say hello for a bit. Always appreciated, Peter. Yeah, these are great channels. Everyone in my community are absolutely amazing, awesome people. They've all got their own take on life. They're all completely different characters, and they're absolutely great. Peter is another one who I should have added to the list, but I was talking about homesteaders. Peter's one is great for scenery and locations, particularly during the holidays. If you're not into your Christmas and you want to just sit back and look at really beautiful scenery, he puts places to go and visit as well. And there are some other bits and pieces and animals on his channel. So do check that out as well. So that's another Australian concept for you. As I say, there are other Australian ones I watch, but I was talking particularly about the homesteading ones that I really watch every single video on. And you guys need to get on with some lives, you Australian folks. I do like watching lives. Josh used to do lives. I'm actually a moderator for Josh. But when he moved, he obviously connection issues and all the rest of it. He hasn't done lives for quite some time. But he did mention in a recent video that he was going to try and sort that out and do it again. As I say, if you want the completely different sort of lifestyle, a true off-grid living with no amenities and whatever, Josh is your man. So that's in your yard homestead. Has winter set in yet? Today was raining. So yes, to us that's winter. As I said on my last live, it's cold. We get up about 5-6 o'clock in the morning. It's dark then, and you definitely need a jumper or something on till about 8 o'clock in the morning. And then as long as you're not just sort of walking around with just a little thin t-shirt on doing nothing, it'd still be a bit cold for that. But we're straight outside doing work, so a t-shirt or a vest top if you're doing like labour work, definitely. And then it's dark now. What is it now? 5:30 at night, and it's dark now outside. So it's short days for working outside. And yeah, I've got my cozy jumper. It's not a thick one. It looks fleecy, but it's a soft one. So obviously I've got that on now because I'm just sitting. It's that time of year here where it's warmer outside than it is inside, because Cypriot houses obviously built for the hot times, because most of our months are hot. So they are not very good at containing the heat. We only have one real fire in the whole of our house. That's all we have. So yes, not really built for winter times, although that originally was the main bit of the house. The two sides, each side was additions. So do you have olive trees in your garden? I hope you're not being rude, because you know I'm still pruning my 96 olive trees. I've just about finished what I'm going to do. I talked about my last live that I'm only going up to the point I got to last year in the opposite direction. So although the others probably could do the trim and the bottoms taken off, which I will probably do, I'm not going to take the rest right back to bareness, because they had a really good cut last year. So I started the opposite end this year and worked up to that point. There's one by the swimming pool, is quite big still and not tall but puffy, and one by the growing area where my rabbit cages that are growing. They're probably the two biggest ones left, but I'm going to leave those now. I'm done with my family loss and other things that have just brought me right down the last week. I just don't want to do anything anymore. I really don't. So I haven't really done anything at all. Haven't even gone out today where it was raining some of today. So I haven't even gone out. I've just been pottering around. Did a tiny bit of paperwork. I thought, right, okay, I'm going to do a puzzle, because I was talking about a puzzle in my last live. They were circle puzzles. So I thought, oh, that'd be fun. My friends lent me some to do over the winter. And I thought, oh, I'll do a puzzle. And I didn't even want to get that out and do that. So, yeah. Yeah. They say Kalamata olives are best, but I'm not sure. Depends what you want to use them for. We've got a mixture, no eating olives, but we hate olives anyway. So ours are all for olive oil, which we got 60 litres this year. And considering how small I made all the trees, that was extremely good for us, very good. And a friend of ours has just dropped loads of oranges round for us. We've got orange trees. They're only just producing the first two, because I grew them from seed or pips. I grew them from that. So obviously very small, but we've got first oranges on that, but we've got a whole lot in for Christmas. That's our Christmas now, frugal Christmas. And on the 21st of December, I'm going to post my non-Christmas video, which will be my Christmas video, and it's going to show you the final cutting of the olive trees, just show you sort of how it all looks now. And on the very end of that, do stay to the very end, because that's going to be my Christmas message to you, my frugal, no spend Christmas. And you'll see, it's sort of funny, but it's not funny. You'll have to watch it. That's all I can say, is you're going to have to watch it. Silly season called Christmas. Yeah, I was saying I'm not watching anyone's Christmas videos. I'm watching, if you do lights, if you go out and see like really fantastic lights, I'm watching that. Or Christmas markets, I quite like looking at that. But if you're doing a nice Christmas cheer video, not that I'm Scrooge or Grinch or anything like that, we just can't afford anything. And I know Christmas is not about that, but there's other reasons, as I say, death in the family and so on and so forth. So this year we're just going to shut ourselves away, little hobbits, little hermits. And yeah, that's it for this year. I didn't have a birthday because we had the vet bills to pay. We've had lots of other issues. Mike had to get a new battery for the car. It's all the things when you've got no money and suddenly all these things happen at once. He had to get a new car battery. Yesterday he had to get a new tyre. There was a big rock went through his tyre, and that's not where we live. That's silly enough. It's out and about on the main road. We live a rural, so we had that to pay for. My glasses broke literally a minute before I was going to go live on the last episode, and these aren't them, and they literally snapped there. I just put them on to do my live, pushed it up slightly, and they just fell off, separated. And I was like, no. So I was rushing around because I thought I had this. Now, these aren't the prescription I use now, but I can see with them. I can see it's not blurry, it's fine. I'm actually sitting quite a bit more forward than normal. So I had these, and this is the title to my video today. I've got a replacement. Yes, can't afford them, but when you're blind, you need to get some glasses. So this is it. Frugal Christmas, non-existent, anything we haven't got. That's it. We've got a chicken. We're having a chicken for dinner, and that's all we've managed to buy. So the glasses, I went and got them and had the full eye test, and she said, yeah, you need to go to like the eye hospital because I've got this thing, this ongoing thing with my eyes anyway. Yeah, she's given me a much stronger prescription. It's only for reading. She said, how is your distance as well? And I said, well, I don't drive. What am I really looking in the distance at? Nothing really. I want all close up so I can see any bugs on my produce and whatever. So I said, I'm not worried about distance. I can't think of anything I'd need it for or I've noticed. So I said, no, just like reading and the computer. She suggested that, I don't know what they call it, where you can have the lenses where the blue light doesn't get through. She said, if you don't work on computers, then you don't necessarily need it. But obviously I'm doing YouTube. I've now got a modern mobile phone, which I hate using devices like that all the time. So I feel I'm using that stuff a lot more now. I've got my tablet. So Mike said, yes, you're going to have it because I've got issues anyway. So we got that. And they are so different, these glasses. Oh, by the way, I don't know how quick glasses come to you when they're special prescriptions, but we went yesterday and she said they will be ready tomorrow, Thursday. So how quick is that? And they don't make them there. She sort of works out the prescription, then they go somewhere and then they bring them in. And she said, I'll just phone and check the frames I wanted will be there. And they said, yes. So she said, right, they'll be ready tomorrow, but we're going to go Saturday and collect them. So next time you see me, you'll see them. They are so different because I thought, although I like these sort of can't see metally whatever type ones, because I've got a funny shaped face. Whenever I try on glasses or sunglasses, anything like that, they're really an odd shape. Are you stuck, Fossil? Do you want to go out? Daddy, shut the door. Come sit here for a minute. Come and say hello. So yeah, these glasses I've got now are what I call the thick plasticky. It's Fossil. Hello, Fossil. It's Fossil. She wants to go out. I might have to let her out in a minute because Mike's got his headphones on and the door shut. So yeah, I've got like thick plasticky, what I call sunglasses type ones, and I thought they won't break then. And also, you know, I can't see glass. Well, sometimes I put my glasses down and I can't see them. I could put them on the table here and I'm like, where are they? So I thought, yeah, this is good. And they're very pretty. They're blue, but different colour blue. And because they're kind of a thicker rim, and as I say, shapes of glasses on me look funny, they always seem to stick out here too much at the top. So I have to get sort of, but these are a different shape as well. And she said, well, these look really good. And I got the cheapest ones in the shop, basically. And I thought, I said to Mike, what do you think? He said, well, you're wearing them. I said, well, I like the colour, but how do they look on me? And he said, no, they look different. I said, yeah, but is that different good or different bad? And he said, no, it's just because you've suddenly got something completely different. That he said, no, I quite like them. Anyway, I said, oh, we'll have these because I want to get out of there. Town's a long way away from here. And I've still got Thunderhead. I've had it for days now. And I wanted to get out there. I said, oh, I'll have them. I'll have these ones. And she was going to send them away and get them sorted out for me. And I said, I'll have them. And then came back in the car. I thought, I hope I do like them and whatever else. But as I was thinking, I thought, no, they're so pretty. And so next time you see me, I want your opinions, your honest opinions. Right, let's check the chat. Okay, Peter. Like, am I long or short-sighted? It's just for reading. So I only need them for reading. Yeah, things go right there. Wrong time. This is a cat's tail. She's standing on the arm of the chair. Let's turn around. Oh, you could just see her ears here. Yeah, they say things come in threes. Now, they also say when someone dies, someone's born, which is quite interesting. And deaths come in threes, so I don't know. But yeah, it certainly all comes at once for us. But as I say, not too bothered about the ongoing vet bills because I'd rather not have Christmas and not have my birthday and have my cat still alive. So there's that. What else? Yeah, so that's the glasses. And it was a full test. I don't know what sort of eye tests you guys have, but it wasn't for colour blindness, but there's green and red circles and you have to look at those as well as letters. And she knows Mike much better than she knows me, the lady. And she gives you the bit to read, you know, close-up reading. And she says, right, read that. And she said, oh, I'll give you the English one. And I went, no, please don't give me the English one. She went, oh, okay. She said, because Mike always has the English one. I said, no. So she gave me the other one. And she, instead of, so it's in Cypriot, but instead of reading it out in Cypriot, I was translating it and reading it in English. So saying it in English, but read. And she's like, oh my goodness, you're really fast. I was like, yes. And I said, oh, I don't know the next word. It was something like Shalmar or something like that. And I said, oh, what's that? I said, you know, practice for me. It's a word I don't recognise. She went, oh no, that's the brand name. I was like, oh, okay. So Mike Fossil wants to go out. Yeah, she's been meowing for ages. So yeah, so you have these green and red circles, and there's a patch of green and a patch of red, and there's two circles in each, and then an outer. And at the end I said, oh, what's that for? I said, that's not colour blindness, is it? She said, no, she said, because every now and then I say, what are the circles like, or can you see the red or the green more? And she said, that's for my reference. I was like, oh, that's interesting. she did the quick colourblind test as well, and I find those really simple. You know, the dots, multiple dots in a circle, and you can see a picture within it. Obviously the distant one. Then this thing where you put your chin on the machine and you see a green star, no, a green background and a black sort of star thing. And then obviously the thing where you wear the funny glasses and she changes the lenses. And then this other one where you hold a black circle up to your eye and it's got like a pinhole in it, tiny pinhole. And she said, right, look through that and see what you can see. Well, you know me, I don't know where things are. So I was doing what I just did then. I've got my hand down here and I lifted it up knowing that would then go towards my eye, because if I'm like this, just put my hand up, I don't know where my eye is. And with their big machine glass things on, you couldn't sort of look to see where your hand was, and I had no clue where my hand was. I said, "Oh, can you do it?" She said, "No, because I won't know where you have to put it for the pinhole to be." I was like, okay. Oh dear. So that was to do. But as I say, yeah, when I'm doing my next live, have a look at that and see what you think of my glasses. I just want to remind anyone who doesn't know what my dates are for Christmas. Today's the 14th, so I will obviously still do my Monday live. I'm doing the Wednesday live on the 21st, which is when I'm posting my last video, my Christmas video. But the day after, on Thursday, the 22nd of December, I'm going to put a funny community post up. I've put it on my calendar so I don't forget, a funny community post thing up. So put that down in your diary to have a look there. Then I'm not going to make or post any videos or lives until the 28th. So it will be last live and videos on the 21st and then start again on the 28th. So you'll get all Wednesdays as normal, but between the 21st Wednesday and the 28th Wednesday, there will be nothing from me. So it's not quite a week off, if you like. It's just under a week off. So Monday the 26th, I will not be doing a live. If I forget and put up I'm doing a live, ignore it, because I have to do it a different way to the way you guys do it. So when this one finishes on Wednesday, I go and cancel my 2 thumbnails, which is the way I have to do it. Being from Cyprus, they don't allow me to do it the way you guys do it. So I cancel those. I automatically put up the next 2 thumbnails for the Monday and the Wednesday live, which would be fine for this week doing that. But then when I finish the next one, I've only got to put up a Wednesday one the following week. So basically, let me just recap. 21st is my last video up. The 22nd, there will be a special community post on this channel. Then nothing again from me until Wednesday, the 28th of December, which is back to normal, live and videos posted. And I just wanted to make that clear because I don't want anyone worrying. And while we're talking about dates, the person who got chosen to be the recipient of the free seeds this month has not yet seen the message or responded. I cannot chase people because I know that some people don't like to give their address out, and I don't want to keep asking. I know some people get upset if you chase them for certain things. So if you know the person who has received them, maybe you'd like to just say, did you know you'd got it? I cannot chase the people because if they don't want to give me their address, then I don't want them to have to say that. Oh, no, thank you. I don't want the address. I did say from day one, if a person doesn't respond, then I will assume that for some reason they don't want them, i.e. don't want to give out their address. But if you do know who the person is, then maybe a little gentle word that way, and they won't feel so bad. They'll probably just say to you then, oh yeah, thanks, I've seen it, or thank you for telling me. But then they don't have to carry on, proceed further with it if they don't want to give out their address. And I can only deliver, get it posted out before the end of this month. So if I don't get a response before then, even if postal deliveries are a problem, I need to have the information by then so I can get it all done, because I don't want it going into the next month and I have to sort out the new person's seeds information and sort out the seeds and so on and so forth. Because sometimes some seeds I might only have a few. So if the person in December, for example, doesn't respond until the January person's responded, that list that's available, what the seeds are there, might be different. So that will mess all that up. And don't forget, it is only announced on the community post. So therefore, every month, I try and do it on the first day of the month, but particularly January, it might be a little bit later. Do check my community post. That is the only place you're going to see if you've been chosen as a recipient for the month. And you'll see the same picture every month comes up, and it's a picture of seeds in my hands like this, and seeds in it, giving you seeds. And the seeds, I believe, are in a heart shape, like giving you love, giving you seeds. If you ever do get the message and you don't want them, I would appreciate an email just saying thank you, but for my own reasons, no thank you. That would be fine. That would just kind of stop me worrying about, you know, not replying. Let's say you can just say thank you, I've seen the message, but no thank you, and that's fine. I won't be offended by that. But I am the sort of person who, as you know, with my stories of workaways, people just don't respond. But that's fine. If people don't really need them, then that's fine too. So yeah, watch out for January, because there will be new people. I've got so many people I really want to give to, but right now I can only do one a month. So and as I say, if you do have postal issues in your country, don't worry, you know, but do let me know before the end of the month if you do actually want them, so I can move on. I think that was all about dates. I have linked 2 videos below, because I'm not doing Christmas videos. I did one today, I posted on my other channel. I'll type it in because people so often ask me, what is the name of your other channel? My other channel is Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. The video is posted, I think, directly under here. The first thing, it's what Christmas crackers are, because a lot of people said they don't know what they are. All about them, how they're used, what it's all about, why they are a massive part of particularly English Christmas. If you don't have them, it's not an English Christmas, basically. That's how important they are. And also how you can make them. So there's pictures there, old pictures, so you can see how they're on the table, what they contain, so on and so forth, but also how you can make them. So I've linked that video below so you don't have to find it. And I've also linked below, a lot of you like my Gingerbread Man series. I must bring him one time to show you him. And I made a little gingerbread man out of material, and he's got his whole series on my other channel about, it's just fun stuff. He found a dog at one point, and it's obviously made of gingerbread, and what he calls it, and then he finds a girlfriend and where he lives, and then something happens to his house, and where he ends up and just his everyday life. Like, this is my everyday life. On my other channel, it's the life of the gingerbread man. If you've got children, they will love it. If you're just a fun-loving person, you will love it. And the story progresses. You can jump on at any point, but further on in the story, there's references back to things, or it might talk about Cookie. Well, obviously, you've got to know who Cookie is. Cookie's the dog. But it mentions characters and or incidents and things like that. So best you go into the, I've linked one below so you can click on that. And then if you want to, there's a whole playlist of them. A great Christmas viewing if you want to just start the beginning. And the episode, the last one of this year, because it's a pre-Christmas one and they talk about Christmas, obviously, they might get eaten and what they do about that. So that one will be next Wednesday. So this is one I had to get out quick because it goes in and order the story. So next Wednesday will be their like pre-Christmas one, and they explain what they do over Christmas so they're not eaten. And then January, some point, probably near the beginning of January, I've just made a video showing you what they get for Christmas. What do gingerbreads get for Christmas? So, as I say, it's sort of progressive and ongoing little story, and more characters keep coming in, funny little characters, and I just enjoy doing them. That's kind of me. They're actually very hard work to make, some of them. Some are, I started off the series really just taking pictures, but they progress. They progress. I'm a bit ahead of them. I'm a bit ahead, so I would lie in bed and I'd just come up with, oh, that would be fun to do that, and then the next day I'd make one. That's why I'm a bit ahead. So yeah, if you want a bit of fun, something to watch maybe over Christmas instead of watching trash TV series or these series, you know, you buy box series and all that, why not take a look at the Gingerbread Man? It's something you can watch as a family, or I don't know if you've got relatives coming over, like lots of children, and you just want, can we just sit down and be quiet for 10 minutes? They're only short. They're probably 2 minutes, 3 minutes. They're not very long. That's why I say you've got the whole series. So try and start at the beginning is a good idea, but they get much better, very progressive. And as I say, the ones I've just been working on are, yeah, quite interesting. As I say, that's my other channel. What else? Oh, I had a nice evening yesterday. I said I'm pretty down at the moment, but yesterday my sister Skyped with me. You've seen her a few times. She comes on my live chats, and she was telling me what videos she's watched of mine, and because I'm like, well, we've been doing this and we've been doing that. What have you seen? And yeah, she's watched the gingerbread ones on my other channel. She's watched a couple of those, and I was actually reading her because I wrote down initially what I was going to make the story, and I read some of those to her, and she was really laughing. So that was good. What else? Oh, I've got a question for you all. Since we're talking about Christmas and things. If your concept of Christmas, whatever that might be, if you could only have one thing or one part of it that you would say, yes, that was still Christmas. Let's say you can only choose one part or one thing of it. What is that one thing or that one part? What would it be? Is it the food? Is it the presents? Is it the people? Is it just one sound or one smell? Is it the stockings? Is it the tree? Is it the decorations? Is it relatives visiting? What is that one concept that if that was gone, you'd be like, it's not Christmas? And I'd be really interested in that. So if you're watching this back later, do put a comment, because I'm really interested. I'm a people person. I like to know about people, and that's why I like videos when people introduce themselves on their first YouTube. And there was a channel that's just come onto mine. Let me see. I know roughly its title. And I just clicked on one of their videos to see who they were and what they were about. And they were just, it was just a short, and they were just saying something. They were saying about a channel, but they were laughing and having a joke with each other. And I did put on their comments straight away, I've got your personality, straight away. Let me see. I wrote them down because I want to go back visiting. They're an Australian channel. Funny, I've been talking about Australian channels today. I've just forgotten how their name starts. That's why I write channels down. I can't remember names. I just can't remember names. Wait. There, found it. Simply Off-Grid Australia, and their names are Deb and Dan. Let's type that one in. As I said, I've just watched this short and I'm already like, oh, these are fun guys. So straight away, that hooked me. Simply Off-Grid. I think they have a dash there. Australia. So again, if you're interested in fun people, they seem, don't disappoint me, guys. I'm coming back. Yeah, they seem pretty cool. So yeah, do look out for those. If you're a new person to my channel, or you're someone that doesn't come on the chat but you watch, as I see, there's always people there, and thanks for those thumbs up. If you want me to come to your channel, you'll have to comment somewhere along the line, because I always look at new channels that pop up in my comments. I always go and have a look, and that, to be honest, is how I found most channels I watch. So that's a way to build your channel. People always ask me, how do you build a channel? Well, you need to connect. You need to connect, definitely. And I've said this before, if you're a YouTuber, don't just, when you can reply to someone's comment, don't just click on one of those 3 choices of thanks or that kind of thing on the bottom. To me, why can't you just type something else, or add the name, thank you, and add Dawn in, or something like that? That, to me, makes a huge difference. It's so easy to click, and that says give a bit more time to the person who's taken their time. I always write in my comments, thank you for taking your time to type a comment. So just that little bit of time there makes a huge difference. What else? Oh yeah, because I was like, right funk today, and I was like, didn't want to do anything, but I got some little bits done, and I thought, oh, I've got some bits done. I've got time. That's always an error. When I have time, it means I've forgotten to do something. And normally a Monday and a Wednesday, I make frugal pizza, because it's just stuff from the garden and a bit of flour. I've got a recipe for it if anyone wants it. No yeast. There's no messing around with it. And I put halloumi in the, I almost make a stuffed crust pizza, and I put halloumi in there. So that's from the farm just here. So I was like, oh, I've got time. So if you ever feel, I've got time today, no, you've forgotten to do something. And Mike came in, he's like, are you actually making a pizza for dinner? I'm like, oh, yes, that's it. There's always something you've forgotten to do if you have spare time. And I was making the pizza, and I've got furry slippers on because we've only got tiled floors. We haven't got carpet. Cypriots don't believe in carpet. They think it's quite unhygienic. And when you think about it, yes. So we don't have carpet. We just got tiles. And obviously in the bedroom got mats and things. But so I've got fluffy slippers on because I was going to be standing there while making the pizza. And Kit came in and he laid down. He always has to lay right next to me or sit on my lap. And he laid right next to my feet while making the pizza. Well, obviously he was quite cold, his bottom. And he started like, you know, they pad. And he started padding one of my slippers. Oh, bless him. And then he climbed on it, curled up really small, balancing on the top of my slipper. It was so sweet. I said to Mike, right, I'm going to tie a little blanket to my ankle. And then he could sit next to me on the blanket. And then as I move around, I could drag him along. So he's always sitting next to me, but on a warm blanket. I thought that was sweet. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. Got the thumbs up. Delightful. Yeah, so that was that really. The other thing I wanted to talk about was my, what should we say, not hobby, my interest. My current interest is kind of like AI, as in apps for artificial intelligence. And I know it's a bad thing. And I always say, for everything you can get an app for, and you're like, wow, this is clever and but simple free apps, you imagine what's out there, what you don't know about. So I got onto it. First of all, I had a drawing one. And I do look through apps, and then they all say free. And then you go on them and it's free for a month and then you pay. I don't even bother with that. You can get tied into forgetting to cancel all that. If it's not free, I don't want to know. Or something with like loads of adverts in and all that. I get some adverts, but not like every 2 seconds. So from all these A1s for drawing, drawing ones first. For all of those, there was only 2 of any use. And I always read the comments, you know, you can always read like what people's reviews on the apps. I ignore the first 10 at least. And I always start from the most recent, because obviously the company and the workers are all going to put their reviews first. So always ignore that. Don't read the first few. Start at the bottom and work upwards. And then there's reviews. Oh, this didn't work, or this happened, blah, blah. So I walk away from those apps before I've even gone on one. Well, I ended up, I've talked about this recently, with a drawing app, and you can just type in silliness and it creates, I think, is it 3 or 4 pictures? 4 pictures of the silliness you've typed in. And then the last picture, it's got all 4 of them together, like, so a quarter is all 4. So you can make a poster out of all 4 or whatever, or each one. You just save them all. And they advertise it as saying something like a monkey juggling on a bicycle. So the more information you put, the longer the thread, the more it can draw. They did say there was in the reviews, if you put people of any kind, sometimes they might have an extra limb or something like that. So I thought, well, I don't want people. So I enjoyed playing with it. And the app is called Dawn, that's my name, Dawn A1. And I was like, fine, that's funny, that meant to be and all that. And then another review said the only thing with it is they wanted to use it for, I think, a thumbnail or something or other, but it's got watermark on it. Now, it's not the watermarks I can't stand where they have it in the middle, like the whole thing. All it is it's actually printed up the very top. So it's not distracting from what you created. And they just put Dawn A1. So I thought, well, that's cool, because if I use it, you'll just think I've signed it. Dawn's A1. So that one's not too bad. I mean, it's basic, but I want free. I'm looking for one. Now, I've found lots, but you've just heard all the reasons I disregard some. I'm looking for one that can draw me like change me into like a sort of avatar, or so it's still me. A lot of you've got that on thumbnails. I want that kind of thing. I don't want it on the thumbnail, but I want, you know how they characterize your face, so it's still you but it's done differently, or change into a pencil drawing, that kind of thing. If any of you have got a good free one, and I mean permanently free, I'm interested in that, because I'd quite like to play around with that. Then I got into Tom Girl City Squad, who's often on my chat. She was saying about the singing one. She uses singing type ones, and she told me about Woombie, which is pretty cool. And it's, oh, she said it before in another live, mimic something. Can't remember what it was. Mimic something. If you're not sure, go on her channel. She'll soon tell you and help you out with it and show you how to use it. And these are the ones where you can take a photograph of yourself, and then you choose a song, and then it's pretty cool. It's you singing the song, and it's very realistic, and you've got yourself dancing, all this. You've only taken a still shot of your face, and all you who know all this stuff think, yes, Dawn, yes. You just take a still shot of your face, but it makes your mouth go pretty well in time, and then all this stuff, and whoa, and all this, and they're good. I've seen like old ones when they first came out. They weren't very good at all. And then you can do duets. So I took a picture of Mike, and then there's some songs it says duet only, and you have both your heads there, and they do one bit and you do the other bit. And Mike said, don't you ever show anyone that. Now, I don't think I can post those because music must be copyrighted. Now, I know people on TikTok, Fastbook, and all those things, you get away with copyright, but YouTube doesn't allow copyright. So I don't think I can post those. So if anyone knows about that, let me know. But I know YouTube, I don't want a strike. I do not want a strike. But yeah, let me know about it. I'd love to post them just for a laugh. And it was funny because the day I tried them out, I was really sick, and hence why I was just wanted a bit of fun and playing around and everything. And I looked like death. I looked like death, but I took a picture because it was for me. And I took a picture, and my goodness, if I do post it, you'll be like, that's not you. That's got to be your grandma. That's how bad I looked. I mean, I don't look great anyway, but I looked like absolute death. But then it's got me, and my face was solemn because I don't think you're supposed to smile. It's like a passport photo, and you've got to fit your head in the shape on the screen. And I think I was quite glum. I just wanted to see how it worked. I was like this, and and in it I'm going, and that really cheered me up. It really did. It was amazing how much it cheered me up. So look at those. As I say, one's mimic something and the other one's wouldn't be. And you know, guys, two things if I use them. One, they're free, and two, they're dead easy to use. So if anyone's not up to those sort of things, yeah, they're fun. And then I went on a channel. I'll type it in. Because I'm quite into these things. If anyone knows any good A1 type things, I like Canva. Canva's pretty cool for making things, and as I say, it's got to be simple. I just like creating. Right, I went on this channel, this guy's channel. So click on him, and he had a video going through some A1 apps. I did ask if they were all free or not, because he doesn't say that. So for me, if you're doing a review, you should mention these things. But apart from that, it was a very good video. And I'll just go through some of the ones he did, the ones that are of interest to me. He did go through other things. If you're running a business and things like that, he was saying about there's a lot more you can do on Microsoft. There's some A1 facilities in that, like you can ask questions to your spreadsheet, and instead of you working things out, he was saying, for example, he could just say, right, there's my accounts. So what's the best thing I should now sell out of those things? So there was those kind of things as well. A lot of that he goes into, but I'm not interested in that. There's one called Voice Mod Voice Changer, and he was saying you can just get down a rabbit hole with that, playing around with different voices. For example, you can have the voice of an airline pilot, you know, ladies and gentlemen, da, da, da. So you can have that kind of voice, robot voice, all that. So if you're interested in playing around with that, these things are just games, in my opinion, but they're fun. This is a free one. I've talked about this, maybe a year ago, talking about how you can now get these apps coming out, where they are out now and free, where if someone's in your picture, or let's say I don't want this pink bit in my picture, you can just highlight it out, scribble it out, doesn't have to be brilliant, and press a button, that will disappear, but it will copy the rest of the background across. So I'm sure most of you have heard of this by now. As I say, it was over a year ago I was talking about these, but you had to buy these expensive things in order to do it. Now these things are just for everybody, free of charge. He said there is a slight issue with that one, that if there was a slight shadow, if you look, there'd still be a slight shadow. But my goodness, when it's free, what do you want? So I've yet to try any of these, but they all look pretty good. So there's that one. That's cleanup.pictures, that one's called. And then he's got one called capcut.com, which is free editing backgrounds and so on and so forth. He recommends you download this one to your Windows option. You get an option to download it to Windows. He recommends that. And this is basically like green screen, but without needing to have green screen in any shape or form. So again, the app can locate your head, and then you can import from anywhere a background. I don't know if it gives you backgrounds as well to choose from, or you just import backgrounds. But you know, with a lot of these green screens, if you move or you get the haze round, or you can't really move, you sort of disappear a bit. This doesn't. This is so clear. It was so good when he showed it that it was basically he was in that location, whereas some you look at, you like, oh, that's a sort of green screen or backdrop or whatever, that's not really there. This was really good. And as I say, you don't get any of that blurring, disappearing, that warpy sort of look to it. So if you use green screen or anything like that, or any of these where you can click and change your backdrop, do try that one. capcut.com is that one. That's pretty cool. And the last one that I'm going to share, as I say, do click on his channel and have a good look at them and more information. He's actually got them all in the description below his video. So if you want the links, go to his channel. There's one, Open A1 Text Playground. And this is a little bit, in my thoughts, like the assistant on your phone, kind of, where you can just ask anything. But this, you ask to do anything. So he gave an example of, write a song for my company, and it writes a song. It puts a song up there, and then you can say, well, sing it or play it to mute, put music to it, and so on and so forth. What was I going to say about that? Yes, And he didn't say it, but I thought, well, that's spooky, because as you see, the name of his channel, that's all that's there. And it came up with what his company was, what his company was called, and all about the items in his company. Spooky. Spooky. But that one, as it's called, Text Playground, you can ask questions. He asked something about YouTube, how he can make more viewers or something in YouTube. So as I say, a little bit like Assistant. I don't know if your Assistant on your phone could write you a song, because that just answers questions. I'm curious now. I'm going to ask my phone to write a song. I don't think it can. It just answers questions, doesn't it? Let's make it really simple, because my one's a bit simpleton. Let's have a sleep. Just having a sleep. Wake up, Assistant. Write me a song.
I can search for popular music, new music, or any kind of music.
Why can't you write a song? See, she can't. She can only give you information what's there. She can only seek information that's available. She can't do things because you're rubbish. I guess we've all sat there at some point and asked our Assistant or Alexa or any of those things. You've asked them all sorts of craziness. I asked her, where does she live? And she says, right here in your phone. And I said, well, you need to pay rent then, because you're living in my home. And she wouldn't answer. She won't answer. And I was like, when can I expect my money from you for the rent? What is the funniest question you've tried out? I mean, when internet first came, everyone obviously Googled themselves and Googled other people, and you found other people with your name and so on and so forth. So I want to know, with your Alexa or Siri or your Assistant on your phone, whatever you've got, what funny things have you asked it? And also, if you haven't, or you haven't got an answer, think of something crazy, type in, tell me what you asked it, and tell me what its answer was. That would be really fun. I might collate them. If enough people do that, I might collate them and then make a video out of it. All fun things to ask and questions answered. So yeah, what questions have you asked? I need to know the answers as well, but I want to know all the funny answers. So I just thought I'd share that with you, really. I'm going to keep that because I'm going to play with some of those at some point. I've got a week off, so I don't know. Right now, I feel like a week off. I want to do like nothing, nothing. And everyone's going to say, oh, you run down because you do too much. We tell you do too much. No, doing nothing will be a big issue, because that's when I go right downhill, because I need to be mobile, physical, brain working, legs working, body working. It could be my downfall. I will be doing my puzzles if you didn't see them. My friend gave me some puzzles to do over the winter. I will be doing puzzles. That's a normal one. But I did show, she gave me these, which I showed in my last live, and they're round, look. So I'm interested. I said I'd film, if I remember, starting one of these, because I don't know if these are going to be obvious and what sort of shapes are going to be inside. But I also said, look, there's no bottom to the puzzle, as in any way up. It could be any way up, this puzzle. That's better if I don't shine the light in it. Every way up is correct. So you can't even figure it out. And that's not the only round one. She gave me 2 round ones. Yes, I think I might start a puzzle tomorrow. And I read out on the back of these what all the animals and birds were. So if you're interested in that, go on my last live. I think I'll start a round one and start filming it And I showed you this one as well, which she's gave me some time back. She's only loaning them. But I didn't get around to doing that one. That looks really hard. I don't think I'm up for doing that one yet. So I'm going to leave it there today. As I say, guys, just like, in the right funk. But it's good to chat. Yeah, I feel like I'm done. I really do. I'm done. Completely done. Done. It's funny. Spirits are up, but they're down at the same time. It's really weird. Really bizarre. But you get what you get. I think my title, like my thumbnail, is very apt for my one today. This is for me, whoever that is. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. I will see you on live Monday, same time as today. And watch out for my next videos posting on Friday. So until then, thanks for being there. As always, Meraki.